Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk to you today about the fact that there is a difference between a main character and a protagonist. Now, the main character and the protagonist are often one and the same, but they don't necessarily have to be. The main character, I suppose, is the person that you follow around the most, or at the very least, they appear in the most scenes. But the protagonist is the person who the story is about. They represent and are intertwined with the overall theme of a story. And I discovered that about halfway through my current book, Silent Reckoning. I figured out that the main character actually isn't the protagonist, that the protagonist is actually another character because the story is really their story. It's not the main character's story. They are there to basically serve as a witness. And there are several stories like this. For example, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, depending on which version you're referring to, Willy Wonka is the protagonist, but he's not the main character. Charlie is the main character, but he isn't the protagonist. Or if one looks at the Star Wars saga, so you could make an argument that Vader is the protagonist, but he's not the main character. Luke is the main character. Now, of course, these distinctions can be arbitrary, and sometimes it's difficult to know who's the main character and who is the protagonist. But my main point is that the main character isn't necessarily the protagonist, and the protagonist isn't necessarily the main character.